You're listening to the Radio Wammo Breakfast, only on Kiwi.
He's joining us now on the show, very talented New Zealand musician Rhian Sheehan, who's just returned from India this week. And we're chatting to him this morning because I just found out this week that he has also put together the soundtrack to the brand new teleseries that's starting on TV2 this evening, The Cult. Rhian Sheehan joining us in Wellington City today. G'day, Rhian.
Hello, Wammo.
Gosh, back from India.
Yes, back from India and Thailand, actually.
You kind of
adjusting to the weather.
You kind of transit between India and New Zealand all the time, it seems, at the moment.
My wife Rashi, she's of Indian descent, so we have spent a bit of time in India. But this time we took the kids, and we have a 9-month-old boy, so that was an interesting experience.
A bit full on, no doubt.
Full on, but we got through.
And how long did you spend there?
We're only there for 3 weeks this time.
Did you travel around, or was it really sort of more family time?
Well, I took my daughter actually just on her own down to Agra to see the Taj Mahal. She's 8, so
wow.
Which is 9 now, but she was 8 last week. So that kind of blew her mind.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
what an experience.
And Bhopal, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
more known for its horrible gas accident.
That's right.
And Mumbai mainly.
There's still a hangover from that environmental disaster still going on there.
Well, yeah, I think 20,000 people died. So and it was in the 80s. So I think there is a bit of a hangover, but I don't know too much about it. I know that they ended up with quite a bit of compensation, and they set up a pretty flash hospital there. So which is pretty good for India. A lot of the time there is no compensation for anything.
Yeah.
So I think things ended up okay given the horrendous circumstances.
Yeah. Last time we were talking to you, in fact, we mentioned India because you found India and the landscapes there to be sort of an inspiration for your latest CD.
Yeah, well, I think as I probably mentioned last time, my wife Rashi Malik, she's also she's a singer-songwriter, and she's just finished her debut album actually, which we recorded in India. Should be released this year.
Awesome.
And it's kind of half recorded in Wellington and half recorded in India. Yeah. And the idea was to really take New Zealand or kind of soul-flavoured songs and take them to that environment and kind of fuse them with Indian music.
And something that you've been working on is putting pictures to music, and you did that with the last CD. In fact, you had an art exhibition in Auckland City, and you put out a DVD as well. Can people still get a hold of that DVD?
No, we didn't put out a DVD.
Oh, you didn't?
I'm actually playing the first live show from the new album, Standing in Silence, is actually next month, 18th of October at the Downstage.
Yeah.
So we've been working towards all the visual elements have been working, and the photographic elements they've been working towards this live show really. And so the idea was with the live show, there's about 12 musicians on stage. We really are trying to make it as live as possible rather than an electronic event.
Nice.
And the idea is to really kind of pull people in with the filmic imagery. Yeah.
And not only with your own work, but other people's work as well. I'm aware that you also put together music for the Year of Astronomy documentary that's been doing the rounds.
Year of Astronomy? I'm not aware of that one.
Year of Astronomy? You know,
I think they
narrated by David Tennant.
Oh no! What that was? That was it's so hard to explain this one, but it's in the UK and other places they have these dome shows. You go to planetariums, and so I wrote the music for a new dome show. Okay. It happens to be that I don't think it's specifically for the Year of Astronomy, but it's a 25-minute, full-on CGI space experience, and it has David Tennant from Doctor Who doing the voiceover.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool. It's really cool to hear. It's really cool to hear his voice actually over my music. And apparently he had to narrate to my tracks to get the tempo and the feel. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, is that a moment, eh? Right there, that's a moment.
That's a moment, yeah. I didn't, to be honest, I hardly knew who he was.
Okay.
But as soon as I mentioned his name to people,
right.
There's some hardcore Doctor Who fans out there, eh?
Yeah, you're talking to one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I would have thought that you might have been, with your obsession with space in the past.
Doctor Who used to freak the hell out of me, to be honest.
Yeah, could be quite scary. Yeah. And now, recently, this new TV series starting on TV2 tonight, The Cult.
Yes, well, that's the Cult. Very exciting.
Now,
I've been working on this for about 3 months now, maybe 4.
So how involved? I mean, how much of the soundtrack have you done?
I've written the entire soundtrack.
Okay, so that's the opening titles.
Opening titles, end titles, everything, all the incidental music. It's a massive workload.
Huge.
It's 13 episodes, 13 one-hour episodes.
Yeah.
But it's it's the first time I've ever been thrown into such a massive workload. I mean, I've worked on short films, quite a few short films, etc., and multimedia installations before, but nothing of this scope.
What did they ask you to do?
Well, the amazing thing was Rachel Gardner, who's the executive producer. She just allowed me to have creative freedom on it, which was amazing, really, and quite unheard of, I think, for a lot of composers. So I was really just allowed to kind of go ahead with it and develop my own sonic based around each character. And I mean, it's quite a creepy series. It gets creepier as it goes through, as the series progresses. So it was really fun to make creepy music, music would actually put me on edge. I'd be sitting up here in the studio, and everyone would be out of the house, and I'd start to get the EBGBs,
So you'd watch it, and then from the various scenes determine the mood and what you were going to do.
Yeah, well, I before anything had been shot, I was reading the scripts, and when they asked me to do it, I was apprehensive because I can't write music for anything. I'm pretty precious with what I can and can't write, and so say like if it was a comedy or something, it probably wouldn't be my forte.
Yeah.
But I started reading the scripts, and I was really sucked into it. It's I couldn't put them down. They were really gripping story. So
do you write signature pieces that are used throughout the show, like for a particular character?
Yes, yeah. There's a couple of main themes that you'll hear throughout the series. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had to be quite resourceful because music budgets are never huge.
Yeah.
As far as recording goes, but we did record some like a string section, from the NZSO and the Wellington Vector string orchestra down here. So there are some, especially the first episode. Actually, is very filmic, and a lot of orchestral work on it. But the rest, a lot of it, I actually had to be quite resourceful with, and use my big sample library with my sampler, and all the sounds that I've collected over the years, and actually just kind of play things in, really.
Because the soundtrack can play such an important part. It can change the way a scene is interpreted at the end of the day, isn't it? There's a responsibility there.
It's amazing how powerful, in certain genres, music can be more powerful, and especially in drama, I think, and suspense, music just plays such an integral role, and I didn't really realise how much music would be needed for this series when I started on with it, and it's been really intense. I mean, a few episodes they don't stop. The music just keeps going. So it's a pretty amazing process.
So have you seen the finished polished product, or will you be seeing it for the first time on telly?
I've seen up until I've seen pretty deep into it. I purposely haven't read the last script, so I don't actually know what happens at the end, and I've done it intentionally. Yeah, because I don't want to let the music give anything away.
Yeah. So apart from the soundtrack, you actually rate this as a fantastic local production.
Oh, it's a superb production. It's the way the story's great, and there's some brilliant acting in it, and the way it's shot is first rate.
Cool.
It's definitely worth a look.
So we're actually for one of our own productions using our own scenery for an intended purpose.
You are?
Yeah. Well, the people who made the Cult, they're actually using, like, as opposed to Lord of the Rings, which kind of fed it sort of overseas, but this is for us.
Yeah, it is. I think it might go overseas too.
Okay.
The rumour is, but it's there's something quite. It's because it's set in the two gardens. The Cult, without giving anything away, is set in the kind of in the wop-wops in the bush, and that environment on its own, is such a character in the film. Really, it's such a kind of menacing place to be. So the environment is a big part of the show too.
Well, I'm looking forward to checking it out and feeling the vibe from the soundtrack as well.
Yeah, it's quite different to my last album.
Which is what we're hearing in the background here. This is your track Part 3, which you can find a video of up on YouTube now as well.
Yes, very talented animator Matt Pitt.
Brilliant little video it is.
Yeah, beautiful little video.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Rhian.
Hey, thanks, Wammo.
Nice to have you back in the country.
Great to talk to you.
And check out the Colts screening on TV2 this evening. Cheers.
Excellent. See you, mate.